Good afternoon, everyone. We're about to do a quick video on our feeding that we do for Shiva and Django, who are waiting patiently for their afternoon meal. So I will try to make this quick. Shiva's not quite so patient, as you can hear. We start with our protein. We use a raw protein. It's ground. This is chicken backs. The butcher actually grinds it for us. He puts in all the bones and ligaments and stuff that is healthy for dogs. We sometimes do ground beef or ground turkey, other things, but this just happens to be the ground chicken backs. We have started using the Honest Kitchen grain-free base mix for adult dogs because Django and Shiva are now both 2 years old. They don't act like adults, but apparently they physically are adults. And all you have to do is just add protein. It's human grade, so if you actually wanted to try it, you could do that. It's a dehydrated base mix full of veggies, fruits, and nuts, and it makes sure that they get all the right vitamins and minerals, everything they need to for them to have a healthy, balanced diet. So you simply add water, and this is what it looks like. In addition to that, the protein and the ground-free base mix, we also add an additional calcium and fish oil. We use the grizzly salmon oil and the Nature Vet calcium, but you can use any kind that's out there. So we use the protein, the grain-free base mix, add in the calcium, and the salmon oil. It's important to use a grain-free base mix because dogs need to make sure that they have all of their carbs and their protein and their vitamins and their minerals, and just doing the meat is not enough. I have seen a lot of videos out there where people will just give their dog, you know, a couple pieces of raw chicken and a couple of eggs and maybe some shells and call it good. It's not enough. Dogs actually do need their carbs and extra calcium and fish oil and all of the other proteins and vitamins that you would get in a regular dog food. You do have to be careful with the raw meat. You have to make sure that it's kept fresh and it doesn't go bad. You can't keep it in the refrigerator for a long time. Our vet has advised us on the fact that it can go bad pretty quickly, and dogs do end up very sick from raw meat. So keep that in mind. You can also cook the meat as well if you feel better about that, but we don't find the need for that. So what we do is Django and Shiva are on a pretty strict diet. You can see Shiva's easily can pack on the pounds, and Django, what are you doing out here? Django has he can get a little chunky as well. Django, go into your room. Go into your room. Go on. Sit in there. Sit down, baby. Sit. So we make them eat separate. Some people feed their dogs together. We were always advised against it and have just kind of stuck to that, and especially because this one is, listen, look at that. She's very temperamental and she's grouchy when she's hungry. So watch that one more time. Look at that. She's quite a diva, which is why her name is Shiva, the diva. So what we do is Shiva gets, what does she get? 8 ounces of protein, and add in the base mix, which you can smell that. Well, you can't smell it. I can smell it. It smells kind of like stuffing to me. So she gets, about 2 ounces of the grain-free mix, and the box actually advises more than that they eat more than that, but this is what we've just found works for Shiva. She has a pretty temperamental stomach, and she is a puker, and so we have to be pretty careful and specific. She doesn't get as much as advised. If she eats too much, she will puke it all up, and so that's not good. Now Django gets a little bit more. How many ounces does he get? He gets 12 ounces. But he's about 85 pounds. So he gets a little bit more. And Shiva, she's 55. So we add that in, and then it goes into the bowl. From there, we add in the calcium. So looks like a scoop of that. And the salmon oil, they get 1, 2, 3 squirts of that. And it is a perfectly balanced nutritional meal with just the perfect amount of protein, carbs, vitamins, nutrients, minerals that they can get. It's important to make sure that your dogs don't actually eat too much protein, which I know is weird to think about because you think that's what dogs should eat, is protein. But we actually were at one point feeding our dogs too much protein, and in their blood test it was showing their liver levels were a little bit high. So we had to reduce our amount of protein and increase our amount of carbs to make sure that they're getting the right amount of everything. So I know that he squishes this around in the bowl so that they don't eat it in one big clump. Because if they could, they will scarf it down. Now, to top it off, some treats, which I think is just for the taste factor. I'm not quite sure why that is. So that looks like is that Django's or Shiva's right here? Django's. That's Django's. And there's Shiva's. She gets her scoop of calcium and her squirts of fish oil. Now, some people feed their dogs once a day. Some people feed their dogs twice a day. Some people feed their dogs 3 times a day. We actually feed them twice a day. And that's because they like to eat in the morning and in the afternoon. It's what works better. Shiva can't eat more than this amount at one time, or like I said, she gets sick to her stomach. We're not quite sure why, but she just does. So, I'm about ready to feed these guys. You can tell that she's in a mood. I don't know why she does this. She's harmless, but... Oh, because she wants to lick the spoon, apparently. There we go. She was about 55 pounds, and she easily packs on the weight. There we go. Shiva. Go ahead. She's not loving that we're videoing. Shiva, take your food. Okay, you're ruining my video, Shiva. And then there's Django, who's a much sweeter. Go ahead, boy. Oh. Shiva will scarf her food down. She's growling while she's eating it. And Django, who's a much easier, sweeter boy, he eats a lot more delicately. So that's how we feed our dogs. Raw food, the Honest Kitchen grain-free base, calcium, fish oil, a little treats to top it off. Not sure why. If you have any questions, you guys, please comment or ask me a question, and I will see if I can answer you. Thanks.